And if you don't know the appraisal office's website where you are looking at, it could be Bell County, it could be Travis County. Go into a search. My brother told me don't use Google anymore, and he says it's showing my age. Yeah. Because I said, Google. My brother goes, nobody Googles anymore. I said, what do they do? Because they search.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
Right there, welcome home. Do you see it there? The password? Anybody needs our password?
Capital W, capital H with the exclamation.
Right.
For which of these?
W, this, Keller Williams, Georgetown, KWGT.
Try the one. I'm on KWGT,
Gotcha.
because that's what this is on. Because I had on the other one and it didn't work. So Google Williamson County Appraisal District, Bill County Appraisal District, or search it. And it will bring you to that website where you can search property sites. Let's see, I see it. 110, does that look like the right house? 110 Cedar Elm?
I can't get it to pull up.
There we go.
You have to put Ellen in there. It wouldn't come when I just put Cedar.
Oh, there it is.
You guys find it? So we're gonna have this as our subject property. So we're gonna look in and say, yeah, it's in the MLS, the legal description, yeah, it's the same that's in here, so that's good. PUD, Block H, Lot 3, the acres. I go on down here, say, yep, is that the right owners? Yep, that's the right owners. And especially if you're a buyer and you're making an offer, you wanna make sure what's in the MLS is the same what's in the appraisal district. It could be like, Leslie is on the appraisal district, but Leslie and Michelle are on the MLS. I would pick up the listing agent and say, okay, which is the title? Who do I make this out to? Leslie or Leslie and Michelle? It could be that Leslie bought it before they were married. And then when they got married, it's Leslie and Michelle.
And percent ownership is just talking about that they don't have a loan on it?
Oh, where's that?
100% underneath 2019 owner information?
Oh, you're way down. You're from, oh, they own it. It means they do have a loan on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what all this stuff says in the CAD. I just know what I need to know.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just curious.
Oh, is it muted again? I'm sorry. So you look on here, assessed value is $263,906. Do you see that down there? Do y'all know which one is like the pointer? No. One of these does things. No? Do you like this? I'm going to try them all. I know there's something in here I've seen Kristen do that lights everything up. No, that doesn't work. So see over there where it says total assessed value?
Mm-hmm.
$263,906? Okay. So we know that's what the CAD says it's worth. Then you have all the taxing entities. The tax rate is 2.428. See that right there? In the middle of the page? You going down, 1986 square feet. What does it say in the MLS? 1986 square feet, so that's pretty good. When it's a big thing going on now about square footage, there's a lawsuit going on. She's like, I'm going to talk about in the team meeting if you were here on Tuesday. And when I was a new agent in 2001, there were lawsuits going on about square footage then. Then it got better, and now there's starting to be lawsuits going on right now, or beginning to be. And so you want to make sure you know what the square footage is. And you want your client to be the source of the source. You don't want the client says, well, that's wrong. It's 2,000 square feet. You don't want to say per client, per owner, because that puts them in jeopardy if they have the wrong information. If there's a discrepancy, what the owner thinks it is and what's on the CAD, say, pay $150 to an appraiser and he'll come out and measure it. Because when they measure it, it's what is air conditioned and heated. I went to a listing appointment in Taylor, and this lady goes, I said, what shows that your square footage is 1,200 square feet? She goes, oh no, it's only 1,000. I said, well, where's this extra 200 square feet? She goes, I'll show you. So she took me out through the garage into this room that had a window unit in it, and it was a laundry room. They counted that as part of the square footage. She goes, I don't use the AC system, so I just told them to take this off. I said, no, but you want to make sure you want to be the source of the source. If you don't want to use it, you want it remeasured, you need to pay somebody to come out and remeasure it. Because you never want to put yourself in jeopardy or your clients in jeopardy. You want to be the source of the source on where the square footage came on. You want the written documentation that says, this is the written documentation on if it's an appraiser, if it is the Williamson County Board, the CCAD or WCAD, because it's Williamson. You want to have it written on where that source came from. And you don't want to say in special provisions, 1986 square feet. However, the owner says it's 2,500 square feet. Because that's what happened in this lawsuit that's going on. And I think it was a condo in Dallas. It was 1,100 square feet. Everything said it was 1,100 square feet. The guy paid cash. He didn't get an appraisal done, so he didn't actually have it measured or anything. And then comes to find out it's only 800 square feet. And he's like, wait, I've been paying more money than per square foot than what it actually was. So it's kind of like in the court system. Who did wrong? You should have measured it. Did you have an agent? I mean, all those things are being hashed out in court. So you want to make sure you know exactly where that square footage came from. You don't want to say, oh, the owner says it's actually 2,500. No, you need documentation. If the owner thinks it's 2,500, they need to have it measured by a professional person that can give you written documentation on how much that square footage was. I talked too much, don't I?
So Julie, if the MLS is showing 1986, the CAD is showing 1986, we feel pretty comfortable with
Yeah.
that, correct?
Yeah,
Is there any
if all the
circumstance-
numbers match.
If there's any, is there ever any circumstance where the, this website doesn't say what is on the MLS?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And what would you go with?
All the time. I would say, do you have an old appraisal where the appraisal actually measured your house?
If they don't,
Have somebody measure it.
okay, don't go by this or that, so,
Because of this lawsuit going on,
yeah.
you know, the CAD says, say the CAD said 1986, the owner said 2,500, it's not matching up. You need to go tell the owner, you need to have this, you have an old appraiser that says it's 2,500.
Both could be wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So because you don't want to trust your seller. I mean, sellers are wonderful people, but if it's, oh, I just know it's 2,500, I measured it. Are you a professional measurer?
Right.
No, I'm not. Do you have it written in documentation and a certified letter that you are competent to do that? No. Okay, go get it measured.
How about if they have blueprints?
Well, no, are the blueprints written out that, or does the blueprints include the garage and the porches and everything else? Yeah, it all depends.
Depends on the builder.
Yeah, depends on the builder.
We just bought a house and yesterday I went and looked and ours says 2610, whereas the Williamson County says 2683.
Yeah.
So I'm not tired somebody before you sell the house, cause
Yeah.
they're wrong,
They're wrong.
both of them, yeah.
And if you say per builder, where the builder has a certain plan, there's a, say, I have floor plan A, and the builder says it's 1,508 square feet. That's a basic floor plan. But this person had bay windows added, the extra options of the bay windows in the kitchen and in the living room. So it's gonna be larger than the 1,508 per the builder. So usually, even with the builder, they have it appraised, and the buyer pays for the appraisal. So when that buyer goes to sell, hopefully they have a copy of it. So when you're working with your sellers, say, or your buyers, say when you get that appraisal, save it. We might be needing it later.
So the builders usually do an appraisal?
The lender does. The lender does, because the lender's not gonna pay money for it. Oh, is it not working?
No, it is.
So if you buy from a builder, you still have a lender. The lender's gonna want to make sure that the house is worth what they're lending money on. What'd you do? Did you mute me?
No.
And
Oh, actually, it's way back there.
I can't even tell you what he did.
What did you
still hear
do?
you through it.
Huh?
I can still hear you, bro.
You can still hear me with, I have a loud, I have an inside voice. So does that answer your question? Even with the builder, the builder's lender, or whoever the buyer's lender that uses, that lender will have the house appraised.
Okay.
Sometimes with builders, it doesn't appraise. Then you have to go back to the builder, hey, this house didn't appraise for what you said it was worth. And it's just like if you're buying a resale, you go back in negotiations, and hopefully the builder will negotiate.
Oh, so with a new build, you can, oh, okay.
Has to appraise for the sales price. Because the lender's not gonna pay money on a house that does not appraise.
Yeah.
that say the house is, you're buying it for 250,000, it appraises for 200, they're not gonna loan you 250, money for 200,000 when they only know the house is worth 2,000,
Yeah.
200,000. Does that make sense?
At what point does the lender get an appraisal?
They always get one? The lenders always get
Yes,
one?
yes.
But now, don't,
It depends. Some lenders will do it at the get-go. Some lenders will wait until after they get out of option, because they wanna make sure the buyer is going to stay in and they're not going to change their mind. Because if they order it during option period, we're getting way off CMAs. If they order it during option period and the buyer changes their mind, the buyer has to pay for that appraisal. It's a buyer's expense. Yes.
yeah, on a new build, whenever you're going to purchase and they say, well, yeah, the builder, we've already paid for an appraisal, it appraises for this much, and the bank already has that appraisal. And you're like, and you wanna question that, can you have another appraisal done?
I've never had it done, because how is that? Because each lender has a client. I'm a person, I come in, hey, I wanna use you as my lender, we need to have this house, the lender goes, okay, let's make sure it appraises.
Okay, so.
Because
you're
what
saying-
if they appraised it and 6 months later it changed? It'll be a different value.
Okay, yeah, okay, I didn't,
And
I don't know how that works.
the lender is not going to pay for an appraisal until he knows he has a buyer that's gonna pay for it.
Okay.
Cause that's money they're gonna have to eat. And we know they don't like to eat money.
So when the lender does do the appraisal, it's charged to the buyer
Yes.
regardless?
Yes, yes. Any questions on that? So we have our CCAD, or WCAD, I don't know why I keep calling it CCAD. Okay, okay, maybe this is not a good idea to do what I'm doing, because it keeps knocking me out. And I'm gonna have to do it by that way, but that takes me longer. Yeah.
Just tap the screen somewhere else,
Hmm?
tap the screen, there you go, okay. Outside of, there you go.
He's my Apple guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually I'm like this trying to look and do the pad, and to me that's a disconnect for me, having to look at the keypad and look. So that's why I'm embracing Apple. So you can go and see the value history here, or what the values was. We have 2014 through 2018. So that is what the CCAD looks like. So you want to look at the CCAD. Now we're going to flip over to the MLS, and it logged me out. Oh, come on. There we go. Hopefully I didn't misspell that. Nope, I misspelled it. Hang on.
And we can see what you're writing.
You can?
Yeah, we're all trying to memorize it,
Yeah.
so that we can
Just so that you know.
do something.
It says actually the words. Oh, that's okay.
When you type the letter.
That means I'm going to have to change it again. Okay, here we go. So we know that this house is going to be, I should make copies of these. I was hoping I had my easel, but I don't have my easel.
So it appraised for 263 and they're starting at 282.
Okay, no, that's good. That's okay. We're going to find the market value.
Okay.
And the CAD system, the appraisal districts, they're not allowed inside your house. All they can see is what's on the outside. Some of them are linked to the MLS. Some of them will see pictures like that. But like if my value was what 262 and my market value is higher than that, I'm not going to go tell Williamson County Appraisal District that they're wrong.
Well, that's why I'm surprised.
It-
Because
you
normally
see-
it's the other way around.
No, you see this all the time.
Okay.
You see it all the time. It's getting better than it was because of the internet. Travis County is pretty accurate. Williamson County still has issues. Yeah, they do. And so we know that this house, because we want to look at actives, pending, and sold. And sold for 3 months. And actives on a CMA, it tells you who your competition is. It tells you these are who I'm competing against when I place this house on the market. The pendings would tell you, wow, this is what it went under contract for. We don't know what it sold for because it's not closed, it's still pending. And then close or the history. You base your CMAs on your market price on the history of what it sold for. Yes.
Why wouldn't you do only sold, so you're getting accurate of what somebody would actually pay for it, and then just do it over the past 6 months?
appraisals go 3 months, then they go,
Okay.
then they go 5 months, then they go 6 months. So you want at least 3 solds.
3 sold, but I'm saying, why would you do active? Because you don't even know if that's a good representation of,
No, but you wanna know who your
That's what
competition
the
is.
part- It's what the
Okay,
market is
okay.
right now. If people
See, the
are
market is
paying
at,
more.
the market is at 375, but everybody has their houses still at 365. Is that gonna be a good one?
no?
Okay, exactly. It kind of shows you who your competition is and how they're pricing their homes.
Okay. So you might see somebody that's overpriced,
Yes,
but you also might see somebody that's
Yes.
underpriced and that's your competition. Okay.
overpriced could be your competition too, you never know. If you overprice a house, any of our statistics are you usually sell it below market value. So if you go to the seller and he goes, I know you said my house is worth $250, but I wanna sell it at $260. In this market, I would say market value is $250. And the reason why is if you study the MLS, you see now, reduce, 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 reduce. That means they overpriced the houses and now they're starting to reduce. When it was the hot market, which it's still a good market, but it's not like people are standing at the door waiting to get into a house to view it. That also depends on the price points. People would say, okay, it's worth $250, but I know in this market we could get $260. And now they're starting to reduce the house. So if you want to do market value and want to sell fast, I would do it at market value or below. If my seller says, I gotta sell fast, I say, well, I suggest you do it below market value. That way you'll get a buyer fast.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say when you look at pendings, you can actually see what it went under for?
Yeah, well, the sale price. You don't know what you don't know what the contract is,
What
but
they
you know,
offer.
hey, it's listed at $250, so I know they got an offer at $250.
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah, they could've.
Minimum, max, well, not necessarily, but it tells you,
Okay.
it's listed for $250, somebody made an offer when it was listed at
$250 or less.
$250.
Right.
I used to call the listing agents up and ask them, I see this house was pending, can you tell me what it went under contract for?
And they would tell you.
Sometimes,
They'll have
Sometimes
to
not.
try, huh?
sometimes not, but some- you can always ask.
Right.
Yes,
I look at when it's, how long that pending's been on the market too.
Right.
So if it's been on the market like a week or a couple days,
yeah,
it probably went under contract for
For
at
the
least
right.
asking price.
Right.
If it's
or it
been
could
on-
be, yeah,
Or more,
Right.
but if it's been on the market for 3 months, then they're probably,
Yeah, it's gonna be
probably
less.
didn't
They
get
might
a
bump
full
off,
price offer.
yeah.
exactly, and if it went under the market fast, you know, what was it, multiple offers? If it's a multiple offer, read the comments, cause it will say we're in a multiple offer situation, please submit all offers by X
Such
amount
and
at one
such,
time.
Right.
You're like, okay, so it went over the asking price. It's kinda like a guide, it was listed at $250, it went pending at $250 as the list price. Does that help? Am I confusing everybody? Oh, hang on,
Is there any way to?
I touched it so it wouldn't go blank.
Is there any way to limit the days on market? So, cause like if you put on active, hey, I want it to go no more than 90 days out, that could have just been refreshed 90 days ago, but it's been on market for 2 years.
It's on here.
It is?
It'll tell you.
It would
that,
tell you.
yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we got active, everybody knows what active contingent is? That means it's active, but they have a contingency that the buyers have to sell a house before they can close on this one.
Okay.
Pending taking backups, and sold. So we're gonna come down here to the subdivision, and we're gonna type in Georgetown Village. Georgetown, hang on, Village. And if you, there's 54 matches. That's a lot. So I'm gonna look at my subject property. Well, this subject property, the square footage is 1986. So 1986 square feet, would we compare that to a house that's 1,200 square feet? No. Would you compare it to a house that was 3,000 square feet?
No.
No. So people do this differently. Some people will say take 10% minus 10% plus.
Okay.
Some people, I do 300 minus 300 plus.
Oh.
It's just easier that way, I don't have to do the math.
Yeah.
And I can just plug it in. I mean, so you can do it either way. Some people like the 10%, some people will do 300. If the houses have been on the market for a while, at one time I used to do 500, but not more than 500. But right now, because I have so many comps, I'll use 300. And I'll show you what that means. So let's look in here. So, square footage, We don't need all of the square feet. So what would be the smallest square footage we would take?
16, yeah, 16,
You said it was 15.
1606 and 1206. Or, sorry, 20,
So 1606?
1606.
1600?
1600 to 2200. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, let's see. Now we have 23 matches. Okay, this is a 1-story. Will we compare it to 2 stories?
No.
So we would want to do what? Where's our 1-story? Choices. Storage right
At
there.
the bottom, yeah.
So we would change that to 1 story.
Okay, you can zoom in.
Come on, go.
There you go.
It's a little slow, isn't it?
There it is.
And it got me down to 20. So let's see what these 20 matches look like. So I'm going to say, okay, results. Voila, roll call. Okay, so this is what we did with what we had. And let's kind of look through this. 1986. I go down to souls first. I look at all these souls. This year, it was 2010.
Where are the souls?
At the very bottom,
At the very bottom, okay,
S for souls. See that right here?
okay.
I need to find out which one of these. I'm scared if I touch too many buttons, I will lose everything. And so the square footage on the comp, or our subject property is 1986, and it was built in 2010.
Okay.
So on these cells, which ones, actually what I'm going to do is I like to uncheck them versus check them. So on the soles, the bottom one, let's see, the bottom one is 2172, built in 04. How many years is that? 6 years?
Yeah,
I try to do 5 years younger and 5 years older.
okay, so.
That's just me. That's just kind of in my
What's
mind.
our subject, what age?
2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get rid of that one.
Which one?
The 113 Fairfield.
Okay,
Okay.
How do
many
you
try-
actually get rid of it? I'm sorry.
just uncheck it.
Uncheck it.
Just uncheck it. Oh,
Yep, I'm unchecking 408 Hanover because that was 2001.
How many do you want to end up with?
3
Okay.
minimum. And I'm going to uncheck that one because it was 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of the rest of these. The rest of them,
Mine was 2001.
I'm going to leave the rest of them the same. So I want to narrow this down. I'm going to get rid of the things unchecked. Okay,
So how'd you get rid of it? How
Big
did
press
you?
narrow.
yeah. This
You pressed what?
this is not okay. What I suggest you do. This is how I do a CMA. I strongly suggest as soon as you can go take a class on how to do the MLS.
Monday.
I did.
Monday.
It doesn't help.
Yeah. So what I did was I did redefine
I'll read it.
or refine and then hit narrow.
Okay.
And that got rid of the things I just unchecked. So let's look at this. We have 1946 square feet, 1934, 2115, 2095, and 2192.
Can you zoom in again? Okay. Thank
I'm scared to unzoom.
you.
Okay, now what I'm going to show you is this. This is another reason why I checked a house that was already on the market. There's our subject. Our subject market is right here. See? 110 Cedar Elm.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to click on the MLS. That's our subject property. That is this page I printed out. I'm a paper person. Okay, I reuse my paper. After I use it, I fold it over and use it as scratch paper. Or recycle it, of course. So this is the subject property. You can see where it has the square footage we were talking about, the age. Let's look at the house, the pictures, okay? Let's see, pictures. Because we haven't looked at the pictures yet. Oh, I don't want that view, do I? Hang on. I want that view. Okay, y'all can see that pretty good? Okay, hang on. That's the front of the house. Is it going to automatically go for me? No, I have to push it.
Yeah, there's your arrows.
You might need to zoom out a little bit
Yeah,
more.
the arrows you gotta click on.
There you go.
Hang on. It keeps wanting to go. Oh, sensitive
I
little
think you
thing.
press play at the bottom right.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
Word.
Let's see it.
So you just flip through it and you look at the house. It's a 1-story. It has steps. It's the front is stone, And then you look in here going, it's a 2-car garage. The roof is shingles. All sides are masonry. So all 4 sides are going to be stone.
Nice.
Okay? The floors right here, you can look on the floors and say carpet, hard tile. So that's not wood. That's hard tile that looks like wood. The flooring. So I look at the subject property and I read to see what it says in the MLS. You see the kitchen, open floor plan. You see the cabinets. Those are 42-inch cabinets. Does it have granite countertops, kitchen, breakfast bar set? Corian countertops. So you can just flip through and see what the pictures look like. Backsplash, gas.
So I guess it's just then a matter of experience to know whether or not wood look tile is preferred over actual wood.
It depends on the appraiser.
Okay.
Some appraisers will do tile and wood at the same price,
Okay.
the same value. Carpet's a little different. That depends on the appraisal and how they do that.
Okay.
Some clients prefer wood looking tile because they have pets and animals.
Yeah.
Some people don't like the dark wood, hand scraped wood floors because they scratch. And man, have you ever seen a dark wood floor?
Yes.
It collects dirt and you see everything. I have a client, she is a neat freak. Every 3 hours she's vacuuming the floors. Somebody showed it. She's going around getting the footsteps off. So it all depends on the buyer and what they're looking for.
Okay.
And the MLS is wrong, because if you look through, it's the backside is not masonry, it's hardy plank.
Okay, see? It's not 4 sides. Let's make a note of that. Oh, hang on. Where does it say masonry here? Oh, right here, construction. It's only 3 sides, not 4. So we're double checking what's in the MLS is incorrect. What else did they get wrong? So you just kind of flip through there and see. They have it. It's nice when they have it down here, what room this is. Because vacant rooms, they all look alike to me. This is the master, ample floor space, fits a king-size bed, double vanity sink, separate shower tub. You can sit down, a bench. That is the 2nd bedroom, 3rd bedroom, 2nd full bath. And you just flip through it and look at it. Yeah, see the back. Well, the back side is hardy plank.
Right.
Okay, so
It's
what
not masonry.
so that what it said about it wasn't true.
No, in here it says all sides masonry. It's
Yeah.
3 sides,
Yeah. So
but that's okay. I mean, you can call this agent and tell them, oh, you actually did it incorrect.
You don't have time to.
Yeah, because they might not have remembered.
Yeah.
And so this is a backyard, nice big covered patio. It has is the garage attached? Yeah, the garage is attached. It's a real door, plus they have a little sidewalk going out to the driveway. So you can flip and look at it, see what they say, what it has. It has the party lights. It has gutters. Did you see the gutter drain?
Oh, so it's a park in the back, kind of.
Yeah, it's park in the back. Landscaping pretty in the front. Okay, so that's our subject property.
Yeah.
So let's go down to our singles. Single line. And we're going to go down here for souls. We're going to start on our soul property. Let's look at this one. This one is 1946 square feet. Pretty good square footage, don't you think? Pretty good comp.
Yes.
The acreage is the same, 0.158. It has a single door rear entry, curbs interior, composition shingle. It says all bricks masonry. So you can kind of look and see what it has. And if you guys want to know, the days on the market are at the very bottom. Days on the market, 18. Okay?
What is the ADOM and CDOM stuff? Is it average days on market?
Active.
Active.
And what is CDMs?
Say I listed a property, I had it listed for 30 days. My listing ran out, and so they decided to relist with Rhonda. Rhonda goes and relists. The CDOM will keep counting. 30, 31, 32, 33. The ADOM would be her 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to show you one of these that's been on the market for a while. I have one of those in here so you can see how to find the history. So you look at all this. The other thing is, do you see right here? I use net numbers. It's an accountant in me coming out. Appraisers use net numbers. And what I mean by that is you take the sold price at $271,750. They paid $5,000 in buyer's closing cost. So I would take $271,750 minus the $5,000. And that's probably why I do my market analysis on spreadsheets. Because if you use the one in here, you get all gross numbers. But an appraiser looks at net numbers. I've asked many of them, and they look at the net numbers.
So really, they sold it for $266.
Okay, yeah.
They list at $275.
Just something to be careful of. But that's how I do mine. Other people might do it this way, but to me, I want it to appraise. Okay, so let's see. Where's my, do I have a next one? Woohoo! The next sold. Let's see, 1934 square feet. Pretty similar, you agree? The acreage is the same. The year is 2008. It's 2 years younger. All sides masonry. This one says all sides masonry. Then it says frame, brick, veneer, hardy plank type. And it lists all the 4 sides that are masonry. And so you look at this, kind of see, and always look at agent remarks. Is there anything in the agent remarks that will go, whoa, beautiful single-story home, anything that tells me anything? No, nothing that tells me what I can't see in pictures. And look how fast this home sold. 4 days.
And look what it sold for.
4 days. It sold for $274,875, and it was listed for that amount.
Hey, Julie,
Yes.
you know, after you make a sale and they ask you for some remarks,
Yeah.
like, say it was like a divorce situation or something.
I don't take divorce on them.
Right, so, but I've seen stuff like that. Where does that pop in on here, though? Where would that be?
It will be on your sold. When you go in and say it's sold in the amount, it will say agent remarks.
It'll actually.
Is it in bad condition, good condition,
Right.
excellent conditions? It needed painting. It basically, I use it as the condition of the home.
Right, okay,
Is how I use that for. I don't say it's a divorce sale.
right.
That's kind of mean. I mean, you know, some divorce sales might be fine and it might not have anything to do with the sale of the house. So this one was sold pretty fast. Also go look at the showing. See the showing right here? It says go. Okay, good. That's pretty easy to show, isn't it?
Vacant.
And it sold.
Yep. It's good.
So it's only gonna say go if it's vacant, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if it's not vacant and they travel, it says go. You do whatever the remarks say on showing in the MLS. Here's one. 2115 square feet. That's within our range. Let's see, garage, disability. Doesn't really show you a lot of detail on this one, does it? It was built in 2006. It's within our range. This is a go too. See, go. The iBox on the front yard. And it will say show, and then it will say, like this one says see agent. You'll call the agent. It says go, but it says call you. So if you look at agent remarks, let's see, which one was that one? Hang on. Madrid.
Hey, Julie,
Oh, that one in
last
here.
one we looked at,
Yes.
had a lot bigger extended patio in the back.
Okay.
We take that into account, right?
You can if you want to. I mean, is it across the back, or is that huge, or is it smaller? I mean, a patio is not going to give you much more value than actually what the house is worth, in my opinion. It attracts a buyer. So we'll talk about that when we get finished, okay? So you look on down here, we're looking at beautiful remodeled home in Georgetown Village, fresh paint, hard floors throughout, granite countertops, upgraded stainless steel appliances, and more. Yeah, so it doesn't really give you. If in agent remarks, say it says call first, appointment with homeowner, or appointment with agent. If it says appointment with seller and agent remarks, I would put down 2 hours notice. I would say no showings before noon. Seller works out of his house. International. which means all of his phone calls are still gonna happen before noon, cause he's working with people across the oceans. So it tells you, so he's actually working out of the house, so we can't show anything until afternoon. But that's where I would put the showing instructions, is under agent remarks, if there is a special showing instructions I want them to know. This one just says go. You get in your car and you go.
Julie, on this one, it's got the granite marble
Yep.
countertops, so how does that compare with our subject countertops?
They had Corian, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Corian and granite are about the same.
okay,
If it was Formica,
yeah.
yeah, that'd be a difference.
How'd you learn these things?
I've been doing this for 19 years.
How do we learn these things?
You go to classes where appraisers are going to talk, and you ask appraiser, what's the difference between this and that? How much do you value this for? And like I said, I love lunch and learn appraisal classes, because I always ask questions, and that's how I learn, is by listening and attending things like that.
So you'd say to really do CMAs well, you need to attend appraisal classes?
I think so,
Okay,
because you're gonna learn how they think.
right, okay.
That's the way I look at it, but don't get too far deep in the weeds that you confuse yourself.
Well, that's easy to do.
Very easy.
You guys are, yes.
Oh, no,
how do you get on the list to know about the appraisal classes
Right.
when they happen?
the lunch and learn.
You
where-
just
where
call
are
them.
Title companies, we're gonna have one here.
Okay.
It's not scheduled yet, they're in the process of trying to get one scheduled. And I get emails about it all the time. A lunch and learn at this title company, or this mortgage company, or somebody's having this lunch and learn, and appraiser, and you see who's gonna be the speaker at that lunch and learn. It's just emails. There's not one set place that will tell you.
So you have to sign
You
up
could
for.
go, you could,
subscribe.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
if you go to, some of the title companies, you just give them the contact info.
Okay, they
then
start
they
putting
can
that
put you
on
on their,
this room.
they'll put you on their email
That's what I was
list.
gonna ask.
Have y'all gotten on the title companies' email list that, get all the cards to all the title companies that we have, and call them and say, hey, I'm a new agent, I would love to sit and have coffee with you. And this is what I did, why do I need to know you, what information can you share with me that will help my business? And ask each one of them the same questions, and see which questions are different.
And the Appraisal Institute too, you can take
Oh, there we
classes
go.
on that.
Appraisal Institute, what do they have?
Everything.
Do they have costs and all that? Oh, we got a new one, thank you,
Appraisal
Sheila.
Institute?
Appraisal Institute.
You can go to Appraisal Institute and they will show you what they value different things on. Is that what you mean?
No, you can go and get resources for classes that they're.
You can get resources
Yeah.
for classes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go and see what it says.
Mhm.
Yes.
Might be off topic, whenever you wanna learn an area, say like you're looking at Berry Creek, but I'm new to Texas, and I don't know anything about Berry Creek. Is there any way to like, instead of like learning about, is there a class you can go to instead of learning about, CMAs, you learn about,
No.
a certain area?
No.
No? Okay.
No. What you can do is look and see which houses are vacant
Uh,
and start previewing houses.
Yeah, that's what I was doing yesterday.
Go on property tours. Why is this house priced different than that one? Learn the different areas. Oh, there's phase one, there's phase two, there's Berry Creek Reserve. Why are they all so different?
Why is the tax
Our,
on
our
taxes?
Tuesday morning property tours has really already helped me on learning
Yeah.
neighborhoods, so if you can go to those.
That's how I learned neighborhoods. When I started in 2001, I didn't know anything about this area. At that time, Keller Williams, Williamson County was the only Keller Williams office in Williamson County.
Are those property tours?
So we went all over the county.
Are those property tours like, getting a bus and go, or
No.
you?
No.
carpool?
No, we drive there.
They will give you an email and say, these are the houses we're going to tour.
Yeah,
So
got it.
you will meet at the first house at 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or
Yeah,
if you
it's
wanna,
right there at 9.
or if you wanna get together with some of your fellow agents and say, hey, you wanna meet at the office and carpool together, you
Yeah.
can do that as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it should be
Not
on
only do
fire.
they have office tours, they also, each city has a city tour. I think Round Rock City Tour, they meet at Williamson County Board of Realtors on Wednesday mornings.
Legislate.
You can find out about that.
That's exactly what I was wondering.
There was
And
a bus
Georgetown
tour
has one as well.
last week, I
And
think.
And they're on Wednesdays, and Donna sends out, or she used to send out the tour.
Williamson County sends it out.
But it's hosted by the city, not by
No,
any particular
no.
realtor?
Williamson Association.
It's, no. All the agents, here in this area, there's a group of agents that get together, and each agent has a week that they do.
Okay.
So it's agents from all over the city. It's just like a Williams agent, it's called a banker, Century 21. Any real estate brokerage can put their house on the tour.
Well, so who's the source?
Donna.
Oh. So what you
Donna
said-
gets a list every Wednesday that she sends out to us on what the tour is for that Wednesday.
But you said there's like a roundabout tour,
Get
the
that.
Georgetown tour,
Yeah, I think she's-
city tours?
Ask Donna.
Okay.
Ask the title company. The title company will know all the tours and where they're at. There's a Cedar Park tour, there's a Leander tour.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, ask title companies. Title companies are a wealth of information for you. Yes, yeah.
The Austin Board of Realtors,
Mm-hmm.
on their front page of their website, there's a button for tours,
Okay,
and they list all the tours and what days they meet for the whole area.
there we go. abor.com.
It worked.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get going here. We're not gonna have time to finish all this. Oh,
Yeah. I know, they should have given us
I'm still in the learning phase because
these. I was there.
So I know you've been doing this a while, but how long does it normally?
Yeah.
And look at this.
I think that's what I heard.
62 days on the market. They're longer than the other ones, isn't it?
yeah.
But they got their.
So
asking
let's look at
price.
this. Why? I'm going to hit.
You can't.
It's not working.
That's like putting white out on them.
It's not working. Well, what's going to go home is I don't have touchscreen at home, and I'm going going like this, going, why isn't it working when I went from one to the other?
That was recorded. I had to.
Yeah, that was recorded.
Well, see, we have entertainment in my classes.
Yes.
My classes are fun. And I looked down on the history of this. So let's go down to the very bottom, right down here. It was listed for $274 on June 6, 2018. Let's see, on what is it? August 7th, they put it temporarily off the market, and then December they took it off. They terminated it. Don't know why. Okay, it gives you the history of this house. Oh, see, I'm doing it again. I'm looking at it. Okay, don't
But
look
that
at
was
it.
all with one seller?
One real estate agent. This is your real estate agent ID.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So same seller. So then a different agent listed it on July 28th. Let's see, this was for a lease. See, it's a lease because it's $18.50 a month,
Right.
and so they leased it.
Mine doesn't show that.
Oh, so
it was-
That's right here.
it wasn't
1865. It's
sold.
active. It went contingent, and that means on August 15th they leased it.
So they didn't sell it.
No, they leased it.
Okay.
So now, February 22nd, they decide to sell it again.
so they go to a different agent.
Different agent, and they list it for $279.9.
Yeah.
It looks like it went under active contingent in April 12th, and they sold it in April 25th is when it closed. So you can go to the history and close it down. I just went right there. I just clicked here.
Mine didn't show the leasing, is that because I don't?
If you don't do leasing, you won't have it.
Okay.
Okay. Next, I gotta speed through this. What time is this class over? 11:30?
Okay, the age.
This one is 2095 square feet. It's built in 2005. It backs to a green belt. Let's see, it's sold. It's gone down here to the bottom. It's sold in 35 days. And they paid $2,500 in closing costs right here. And it sold, it was went pending in May. That means P for pending. It sold in June, and it sold for $289. So it sold for what it was asking for,
Minus the 25.
Does the
minus the $2,500.
Oh, so you okay.
I use net numbers, not gross numbers.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I'll show you in a minute. And to do that, I would take this sheet and I would go up. They paid closing costs. And then when I get my Excel spreadsheet, I would say $289 minus $200. I put BCC, buyer's closing costs.
That's what you're.
And I say the net sheet, because they would say, well, my information says it closed for $282. Yes, that's gross numbers, but the seller paid $2,500 in closing costs. So you take that off the net.
Right. Yeah. that much less that they made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the last one. Let's see. List price was $310. It was $21.92 square feet. Ooh, why is this list price so much higher? Resale has attached garage. It doesn't have a swimming pool
But
because
the price per square foot's not that much different. It's
it's because it's $21.92 square feet.
Right.
Yeah. So you look on down. Oh, see, this was on the market for 60 days, and look, 2-hour notice. Must confirm appointment with owners.
So you're gonna export this into a spreadsheet, right?
I do,
Okay, yeah.
but that's advanced class.
Well, yeah.
Is there a CMA advanced? No.
So do you agree that all these things that we have looked at and sold are pretty good comps?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what I do is, what's the market value of all those? I'm not doing net numbers here. I'm doing gross numbers because I don't have it written down. I don't have mine.
Right.
So if you look at this, I'm going to do all of those. Let's look at pending. 328, Beretta. It's built in 2017. That's kind of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're not using that one. We're going to take that pending out.
Because theirs was built when 2010.
Yep.
In 2010.
Greenside, that's also 1,600 square feet. It kind of tells you, what these pendings does is, Greenside was 1,654 square feet, and it went under for 144.50.
That was in 2001.
And that's a 2001.
That's way, so we're taking that one off.
This one is 2,004 square feet. That's pretty good. Tascati in 2010. And pending just tells you what it went pending for. What was the list price that it went pending for? Is what pending tells you.
Hey Julie, a quick question on the other one. How did the 2-hour notice affect price, the total price? What were you saying about that?
Well, it's not convenient. Oh, I have to give a 2-hour notice. It's not really convenient. If I'm an agent and I'm going, I don't have 2 hours notice to give them. I still ask.
So it's less desirable.
And they'll say, oh, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I know it says 2-hour notice. I read that, but is there any way we can see it in an hour and a half?
Right.
Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. It's like my client that does international. No, I have a conference call. Okay. But you need to read agent remarks so you know what the showing instructions are.
You're
I-
putting this out because you were working on a market analysis for a buyer?
A
Or
buyer
why
and
are you
seller are
putting
very
it
similar.
Out for the market analysis?
Pardon me?
Why are you pointing out that showing
Yes.
is to show for a market analysis?
Well, if it's on the buyer side, how long has it been on the market? What are the agent remarks? Why did it stay on the market for 60 days and everything went?
Because it might have to do with how convenient the showings are?
Yes.
Okay.
And some people just say, you know what, we don't have time for that, let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Is there,
I
is there,
got you now.
And sometimes it might not affect it at all.
Okay.
But you have to read the showing instructions and you have to read the agent remarks.
so is there a button you're gonna push on here that the
Yeah.
matrix does a CMA for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. So we have our actives, we have our pending, and now we all agree on these solds. Do we all agree on these solds?
Yes.
Pretty much apples to apples. So I go down here under action and I pick quick CMA.
Quick CMA.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
Boom.
Okay, so what is this telling us? What do we got here?
The average that is active, the average age is 2004. The average acre is 0.198. The average square footage is 1848. The average price per square foot on the actives is 146.25. And the average list price is 268.888.
Wait, where are you reading?
This black.
Right here, this line.
Oh,
Then I look at the average on the listings. Then we're going to come down and look at the average. It doesn't give me a total on the average. The average on the, this is why I like doing my spreadsheets. So if you look here on the second page, it says everything in the nutshell. The minimum is 1934 square feet. It sold at 132.34 foot per square foot, and it sold at 271, 750. It was on the market for 4 days. It shows the max, it shows the average, and it shows the median. And then, see, I don't like how they do this, because it's averaging all 15 of them on this quick sell.
Okay.
And I don't like doing all that.
Yeah.
So-
you like to narrow it down?
Yeah. That,
But
well,
we can narrow it down on there, we just didn't select it to narrow it down.
So
So-
when you narrow it down, what do you narrow it down to?
3.
Well,
what I do is I import it over on a spreadsheet. I have all my actives together, and then I have average for my actives.
Okay.
I'll have all my pending together, I have average on my pending. I'll have all the solds together, and I'll have my average on my sold.
That's smart.
Because the sold is the one that tells them this is the history.
Yeah.
The pending tells you this is what it went under contract at. It was listed at $250. Somebody made an offer on it at, don't know if it's $250 or not, literally, but we know at $250 they received an offer on that house.
Yeah.
And active shows you this is your competition.
Okay.
This is your competing against. So what I'm going to do is I am going to unmark everything but my actives. But my souls.
Right.
And then you're gonna export. Oh no, sorry, that's
Do a quick CMA on
Yep.
that one.
And like I said, I don't use this often on theirs.
So you're just gonna keep your souls.
Yes,
There we go.
these are just my souls.
Boom, baby.
Because the soul tells you what history is all about. You can list it for everything, anything you want it for, any price you want it for, but that doesn't mean it's going to sell for that price.
right.
So you need to price your market analysis for what has sold. But at the same time, you need to go to each one of them. You have to tell your seller, this is the numbers I came up with. Well, why didn't you use this number? Because blah, 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 blah.
Right.
That's why you have to go into each of the sheets, look at the pictures, read the comments.
Yeah.
Because you have to justify, and you're gonna go in there and sell what you think this house should be listed for.
Yeah.
And if you just go click, 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 quick CMA, here you go. Well, where'd you get these numbers? Click, 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 I don't know. What they said for, I don't know. Do you think you're gonna get that listing?
No. Well, so, but
No, I just push buttons.
Yeah.
And there are some agents, that's all they do is push buttons. For me, it's a math equation. You gotta know why you picked that price, and you have to go and justify, I picked this price because, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not doing listings yet, I'm focusing on buyers. Is this gonna be applicable for me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
in what scenario would I use this?
Okay, I have a buyer, we're going to look at a house in XYZ neighborhood, because I'm being recorded. And she always, when I go there, she's gonna go, is this market value?
Mhm.
I'll do a quick CMA. Not quick like that, but I'll do a CMA, looking at the numbers, going, seeing what this has, that everything else says.
Like right there in the house?
No, I'll do it before I go.
Okay,
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
okay.
And I'll do it and I'll say, yes, this is market value, the other houses are priced at this much, and if it's a big discrepancy, I say, wait, this is overpriced and this is why I think it's overpriced.
Yeah,
Or this is underpriced and this is why I think it's underpriced.
yeah.
Because she is a double major degree finance and economic,
Okay.
and her husband is an engineer.
Oh, yeah.
The probability of this happening could be this, this, and this, and based on the statistics, no, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm not going, y'all just figure it out and let me know.
Right.
Because they know, I said, I do numbers A plus B, but I do not do probabilities. Yeah. Does that help you?
No, what is?
So based on this, just the souls, it says that the average is 2056 square feet. It was average per square foot sold. Do y'all see that up here? I'm looking at this right here. It's 137.86. The average day on the market is 36 days in this neighborhood. See, average for all? And all of it is going to be all of my solds. So take 137.86. No, y'all get your phones out. We're doing math. So take 137.86 times the square foot, 1986. And what do you get? I don't know, 10.
273, 789.
273?
That's our sales,
790.
or our CMA amount for the others.
So 270 something, right?
So you multiply.
And this house is listed for 282.5.
So you.
And the subject property has been on the market 41 days. What do you think?
Bring it down.
A little bit overpriced.
So, I'm sorry, what was the number again?
See that average?
Which
Per
was
square foot.
279,
The one.
137.86.
137.86.
And our subject property square footage is 1986.
1987.
So average square,
So it's overpriced by $12,000?
Could be. So when I see that, then I'll go back and dig deeper. Why is this house worth $12,000 more than the others?
right.
Yeah,
And I'll dig deep.
maybe it is. maybe
Because
it's not.
maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I'll dig deep. I'll say, wow, why they price this $12,000? What are they seeing that I do not see? What's there I'm not seeing that I should be seeing?
Maybe this house is completely renovated and the others are, yeah.
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 But we all agree these are basically apples to apples. They all had granite, Corian, they all had tile or wood in the family rooms, and carpet in the bedrooms. The
Right.
lots were very similar in size. That's
Yeah.
why I picked this neighborhood.
Easy,
Uh-huh,
yeah.
yeah.
And these, you have 5 homes here, right?
These are all 5 homes that sold. Those are the 5 homes that we just went through.
And those are 6 months back only, right?
90 days.
Oh, 90 days.
Three,
Wow.
So something
I
like,
started with 90 days. Mhm.
so something like Cimarron would not be apples to apples.
No,
Yeah, okay,
no, you want to stay in the neighborhood that you're at.
yeah,
If there's not 3 souls in that neighborhood, then expand one neighborhood out and make sure that neighborhood is similar to the neighborhood you are comping.
no, what I was saying is if you're in Cimarron, trying to comp houses in Cimarron, all that custom stuff out there is gonna be hard to comp.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, okay.
Now,
Mhm.
Julie, I stepped out for just a second. Did you also run one with the active just to see what your competition is?
Yes.
Did you do
Yes.
that? Okay.
We did that first,
Okay.
and then what it did was it averaged active, pending, and sold all together. So I took out active and pending to this one.
All right.
There's one more thing I was gonna say. Oops. The other thing, hang on, let me think. There was one more thing. What else was I gonna tell you? So I would go, that's my house. There we go. So then I'd come back and say, why is this house, why is that list price so much more than these? And I'll go back and look. I'll look at the pricing of it. If you have an oddball house, and it all depends on the appraiser too, but you want to list it at market value, you want to sell your house, go back and what did we say, 279?
279, 900.
Okay, so the 2 big houses is going to be the last 2. What makes these houses so much better than the other 2? Because one was sold at 289 and the other sold at 300,000. So I'd go back in and say, does this house compared to why does this house these? Because that's what made the price. That's what changed the price point. So I'd go back and look. You just have to go back and look and figure out if this is apples to apples. You want to get as close to apples as you can. Now, not everything's going to be apples to apples. It could be you have more square foot. It could be this house has the same square foot, but it's on an acre, and this is on a half acre. And you don't have apples to apples on the size of the lots. That's a whole different class. What I do is I dissect it. How much is a lot worth and how much the house is worth.
Even on a difference between a half acre and an acre?
Yeah, absolutely.
How much time do you typically dedicate to doing the CMA? Is it like a couple hours?
If it's not apples to apples and they're very, very odd, I work on it, then I'll walk away.
Come back.
And I'll come back. Oh, okay, now that makes sense to me. And I will take the less price, 279, and I'll say, okay, how does 279 fit in with the actives and the pendings? When the market changes, I'm going to totally blow you away on this one. When the market changes, like the prices are getting higher or the prices are getting lower, I will average out what the pending houses are. And then I'll take the average for the pending and the average for the solds, and I'll take those 2 together, divide by 2, and see what number I get. If the market's starting to go down. Because what pending is telling you what's going on in the market. To To me, it does. And like I said, you can always ask the listing agent, sometimes they tell you, sometimes they don't.
And again, this is your method, people do it different ways, right?
Everybody does it different. Everybody does it different. The sheet that I gave you out, this is how somebody used to do it that used to work for the company. You can go through this way and see how they say.
Julie, I have a question. It's not really run on the CMA, but sometimes on the MLS sheet, you'll see where they increase the price of the house.
Mhm.
Why are they doing that? To attract a different group of buyers, or?
I have no idea, because if I see they increased it $2,000, I know at one time they would accept $2,000 less.
I'm starting to see that a lot. I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't
You
think
wouldn't
it's,
do it.
I don't think it's good marketing.
Right.
If you have a house that's overpriced, it's gonna stay on the market day after day after day. And then the other thing that's a deal killer for a house, if it goes pending and the buyer backs out, and nobody else will look at it again, and it usually will sell for less than average market because of that, from what I've seen in the past.
Well, and speaking of pending, a lot of times you'll see pending, it's pending with a contingency, but they don't want backup offers.
Yeah.
Why is that? I mean.
It's up to the seller to decide if they wanna keep showing their house or not.
Wow.
Some sellers, like it's under contract, I don't want anybody else in my house.
Ours has been sitting there, we have one in the neighborhood, it's been there 3 months now, just sitting there.
Yeah, but when you talk to title companies, you can either they'll send you monthly reports, or you can look in the MLS yourself of, at this price point, what's the average days on the market at this price point? And you get those reports from title companies. Austin Board of Realtors sends us out one too, at the end of each month. And, you know, it's not broken down per neighborhood per se, but it's like Georgetown East, Georgetown West, Round Walk, it'll be per MLS code, is what they do. And it will give you the different price points. The higher the house, the longer it's gonna stay on the market. Cause there's not as many buyers buying a $700,000-800,000 house that's looking for 200. And in this market, anything 200 or below will go fast, cause you don't see those very often.
So should all title companies have the same data?
They get it all from an MLS.
Okay, so they should have the same data.
I would think so, cause they all pull it from the same place. Any questions or anything?